Welcome back to the days. Today we're diving into the thrilling twists lined up for the week of July 28th to August 1st, where the legendary Stefano Dera makes a jaw-dropping comeback from beyond the grave far earlier than anyone in Salem could have imagined. The excitement kicks off with a tantalizing preview that has fans buzzing, featuring Susan Banks engaging in eerie conversations that seem to bridge the worlds of the living and the departed. Amidst this supernatural vibe, expect a whirlwind of envious flare-ups and mind-bending revelations that will keep viewers on the edge of their seats. Susan, with her quirky charm and uncanny insights, steps into the spotlight, claiming abilities that allow her to commune with those who've passed on. This sets the stage for a series of events that unravel family secrets and hidden dangers lurking in the shadows of Salem's most infamous households. Imagine the tension building as old rivalries resurface, amplified by these ghostly interactions, creating an atmosphere thick with suspicion and unforeseen alliances. In one particularly gripping segment from the teaser, E.J. Dera pulls his brother Chad aside for a confidential chat, revealing that their eccentric relative Susan insists she's tapped into psychic powers that let her speak directly to the deceased. Susan, ever the dramatic figure with her wide-eyed expressions and southern drawl, confidently affirms her gifts, perhaps drawing from a lifetime of peculiar experiences that have always set her apart in the Dera clan. This disclosure isn't just casual gossip. It hints at deeper mysteries, maybe even involving long-buried family artifacts or forgotten rituals that Susan has encountered over the years. As E.J. recounts this, Chad's skepticism might give way to curiosity, especially given the Dera's history of outlandish schemes and supernatural undertones, adding layers of intrigue to their already complicated brotherly dynamic. Shifting focus, the promo captures Susan gazing intently at a grand, ornate portrait of the late Stefano Dera, portrayed with chilling intensity by the unforgettable Joseph Mascalo. Her voice drops to a whisper as she alludes to an impending catastrophe that's very, very bad, her words dripping with foreboding that sends chills down the spine. This moment could be laced with invented elements like flickering candlelight in a dimly lit Dera mansion room, where shadows dance across the walls, enhancing the ominous mood. Susan's intuition might stem from vivid visions she's had, perhaps involving stormy nights and cryptic symbols that tie back to Stefano's notorious past, building suspense as she pieces together clues that no one else sees. Building on this, there's speculation that Susan will confess she hasn't detected Stefano's presence in the spirit realm at all, leading her to boldly predict that the cunning patriarch is still very much alive and plotting his next move from some hidden corner of the world. This theory could be expanded with new details, such as Susan recalling faint echoes of Stefano's laughter in her dreams, or discovering an old letter with enigmatic clues about his survival. Her predictions might stir up a frenzy among the Deras, prompting secret investigations and hushed meetings in the town's shadowy alleys, where alliances form and break under the weight of this potential resurrection. It's the kind of plot twist that reminds us why Days of Our Lives excels at blending the impossible with the everyday drama of Salem's residents. Over on another front, Rafe shares a stern warning with the enigmatic Cat Green, played by the captivating Analyses, explaining exactly why Stefano earns his fearsome nickname, the Phoenix. Rafe, drawing from his years as a seasoned detective, recounts tales of Stefano's miraculous escapes from death, likening him to a mythical bird that rebirths from its own destruction. This conversation might unfold in a tense, rain-slicked street corner, with Rafe's voice steady but edged with caution, perhaps weaving in invented anecdotes from past cases where Stefano outwitted authorities through elaborate disguises or underground networks. Kat, new to Salem's chaos, could react with a mix of fascination and fear, her own mysterious background adding fuel to the fire as she contemplates the implications for her own secrets. Meanwhile, the beloved Marlena opens up to her trusted friend Kayla Johnson about a haunting dream where she envisions herself as the enigmatic Queen of the Night. This vivid nightmare serves as a potent link to Stefano's dark legacy, stirring up a flood of repressed memories that Marlena has long tried to bury. In an expanded take, Marlena might describe the dream in vivid detail, thrones shrouded in mist, echoing whispers of opera music, and Stefano's silhouette looming large, evoking the psychological torment she's endured from their past entanglements. Kayla, ever the compassionate healer, could offer insights from her medical expertise, suggesting these visions are manifestations of unresolved trauma, while subtly introducing new elements like a forgotten diary entry that ties Marlena's subconscious to Stefano's manipulative games. Delving deeper, Marlena reflects on her recent run-in with Susan, who delivers a cryptic assessment that Marlena is ailing not just physically, but mentally and spiritually as well. This encounter leaves Marlena grappling with confusion and inner turmoil, questioning the roots of her distress amid Salem's ever-present undercurrents of deception. To flesh this out creatively, imagine Susan's words delivered in a dimly lit cafe, her hands gesturing wildly as she describes auras dimmed by unseen forces, perhaps inventing a ritual where she waves herbs or crystals to diagnose Marlena's state. Marlena's struggle could manifest in sleepless nights and fleeting hallucinations, heightening the emotional stakes and drawing viewers into her vulnerable journey towards self-discovery. Culminating in the week's biggest shocker, Stefano's triumphant return electrifies all of Salem, catching everyone off guard with its timing and implications. And in a twist that promises more drama ahead, Marlena finds herself inexplicably at his side, poised to collaborate on the next wave of astonishing plot developments that will redefine loyalties and unleash fresh waves of scandal. This reunion might involve invented scenes of a clandestine meeting in a fog-enshrouded graveyard, where Stefano emerges with a sly grin, whispering plans that entwine Marlena's fate with his own ambitions, setting the stage for epic confrontations and heart-pounding revelations in the episodes to come. Meanwhile, fireworks in the town square. Gabby and Gwen face off. The quiet afternoon in Hortontown Square turns into a battlefield when Gabby Hernandez storms in with her daughter Tesoro in tow, her heels clacking fiercely on the brick path. Gabby, never one to avoid confrontation, doesn't miss the opportunity to throw a verbal jab at her longtime rival Gwen Rizek, who's casually sipping coffee outside the cafe as if waiting for this very moment. Their eyes lock like predators circling the same prey. The air thickens. Gabby mutters something under her breath about Gwen's desperate past, and Gwen rises slowly from her chair, smirking. She's been ready for this fight for weeks, maybe months. Sparks fly as the two women hurl accusations and deeply personal insults that dig straight into old wounds. "You're still bitter I took Jake from you," Gabby sneers, her voice cold with disdain. "Please," Gwen scoffs with a venom-laced chuckle. "Stefan cheated on you the same way Jake walked away from me. Looks like we both got burned." But Gwen doesn't stop there. She casually brings up Dimitri, reminding Gabby, and anyone within earshot, that her own recent lover also stepped out on her. "At least I walked away with his money," Gwen adds with a glint of satisfaction. The ghost of a crime. Susan strikes back before Gabby can offer another biting retort. The atmosphere shifts. Out of nowhere, the eccentric yet intuitive Susan Banks appears like a ghost rising from the ashes. Her dramatic entrance, complete with her signature wide-eyed expression and southern drawl, silences the square. People stop and stare as Susan marches toward Gabby, pointing a trembling finger. "Did you shoot my son?" she demands, her voice sharp with rage and emotion. Gabby is visibly stunned. Her eyes widen, and for a split second her tough facade falters. Susan recalls vividly seeing Gabby at EJ's mansion the night he was shot. And now Gabby has all but confessed to being there. Is it a slip of the tongue? Or something more sinister? Behind Gabby, Gwen's smile grows wider. She crosses her arms and watches, practically glowing with amusement at the unexpected drama unfolding before her. Susan's presence, as erratic as ever, makes everyone uneasy. She leans in closer to Gabby, warning her. "If I find out it was you, sweetheart, I promise you'll be sorry." Before Gabby can respond, Susan spins on her heel and vanishes just as quickly as she arrived, leaving a silence so deep it's almost deafening. Gwen's twisted delight and cryptic clues with Susan gone. Gwen wastes no time twisting the knife. And you had the nerve to accuse me of murder? She asks, cocking her head. Talk about projection, darling. Gwen then brings up Stefan again, now fleeing Salem to visit his mother's estate in Alemania, an act Gabby sees as cowardly. Guess you're not the only Dera who's gone missing lately, Gwen adds, her words laced with something more than sarcasm. There's implication in her voice. Dimitri hasn't been seen in days either. This statement makes Gabby pause, even if only briefly. Could Gwen know more than she's letting on? Is she subtly implying something darker, something only she knows? Their bitter conversation ends in true soap opera fashion, with mutual disgust and a final searing insult. Go to hell, Gabby hisses. After you, Gwen replies with a cold smile before turning on her heel and disappearing into the crowd. The mystery deepens. What is Gwen really planning? But Gwen's smirk hides more than satisfaction. Back in her hotel suite at the Salem Inn, Gwen carefully closes the door and removes a small black notebook from her purse. Inside are notes, timelines, addresses, phone numbers, and newspaper clippings about Dimitri, EJ's shooting, and even a faded photo of Gabby in front of the Dera estate. Gwen isn't just delighting in Gabby's suffering. She's planning something big, something calculated. If Gabby thought she was just a nuisance, she's gravely mistaken. Gwen is building a case. One wrong move from Gabby, and Gwen is ready to set her world on fire. Sources say Gwen has already contacted an anonymous party in Alemania, perhaps a connection from her days with Dimitri, who claims Stefan has been spotted, but not with his mother. Rumors swirl that he may be in hiding, or worse, held against his will. Why would Gwen be investigating this? Is she hoping to frame Gabby, or protect someone else entirely? Gabby on the defensive back at home. Gabby is shaken. She's never been one to second-guess herself, but Susan's confrontation rattled her deeply. If Susan saw her that night, who else did? And why hasn't the truth about EJ's shooter come to light yet? Could someone be protecting the real culprit? Gabby knows Gwen is dangerous, but she's starting to suspect she may also be connected to something even more malicious. She tries to contact Stefan, no answer. The messages go straight to voicemail. Could Gwen have manipulated Stefan into disappearing? Even more troubling, Gabby begins to wonder if someone is trying to frame her. Her fingerprints were all over EJ's study that night, and with her complicated history with the Demeras, the wrong narrative could send her straight to prison. Susan's return and a warning from the Beyond Susan, meanwhile, hasn't returned home. Instead, she's reportedly taken residence in the attic of the old Miller farmhouse, convinced that the spiritual realm holds the answers to what happened the night EJ was shot. Locals have heard her muttering in tongues, conducting seances, and even calling out EJ's name in the middle of the night. Her visions are growing stronger. In one dream, she sees Gabby standing over EJ with a silver pistol. In another, she sees Gwen holding a briefcase full of cash and a plane ticket to Zurich. Susan isn't sure which vision to trust, but one thing is clear. Gabby is lying, and Gwen is hiding something even darker. What happens next in Salem? As tension builds in Salem, one thing is certain. Gwen and Gabby's war is far from over. With Dimitri missing, Stefan unreachable, and Susan diving headfirst into supernatural investigations, the town is bracing for a reckoning. Secrets buried for years may come to light, and alliances will crumble when the truth surfaces. Is Gabby guilty of something more than just harsh words? Is Gwen truly pulling the strings behind the scenes, or is she a pawn in a much larger game? And how far will Susan go to protect her son and uncover the truth?